As a kid, when I was told there are certain things you cannot do, things that I couldn't do, and things that I know I could do. So my challenge is learning to do a few things like driving, riding a horse or a donkey. I was told I couldn't do that. So those challenges were all they were forward in my mind that I was worried about overcoming. And if you get up every day and someone your friends tell you that you cannot do these things, it makes you determined to do that. So that was my greatest challenge. First thing is to ride a horse when I was told I cannot. I was also told one of my biggest challenges is riding a bike. My friends would laugh and says, well, you cannot ride a bike. So I was determined to find a way how I could go about doing these things. So those were my biggest challenges. One of my other biggest challenges, how am I going to be able to drive? I have these foresight, sight of thinking about things like that at a young age. So that was very, very challenging for me, and I was mostly determined by those things. So those are my greatest challenges. One person that was more influential in my life was my uncle in Jamaica, was a tailor in Jamaica, in a little small town called Linstead. And he inspired me and told me he doesn't want me to feel sorry for myself. I can ride a bike. Whatever, even if I have to hold it with my teeth or my legs, I can ride it. So with that, I will never forget that. And that inspired me to actually ride a bike because of him. So he's one of my greatest inspiration. If I could learn to ride a bike, then I could be inspired to do anything else. Simple as that. Well, my biggest achievement presently, I would say having my 3 kids, which is essential in my life. And also, my bigger achievement is to find and fall in love with a woman that truly loved me for me. Those are my greatest inspiration right now and achievements. Back in the early days when I was much younger, I find myself doing 100 meters, I would say 200 meters, high jump, long jump. And I just felt that I wanted to do something, and I got involved in that particular sports by coming into the early 80s, the Special Olympics. When I was much younger, I figured I could run and probably get myself a gold medal, but I think I have accomplished more than 1 gold medal. Well, yeah, well, I would say because of my uncle, he inspired me greatly, and because of him, I have achieved what I have achieved. A little bit on my business side of it is with International House of Music, which is artist development. It helps me critiquing and manage young artists and looking after their career. And I myself have got successful with it. Stepping back and reflecting because of my success, now I feel that I can give back. And one of my greatest things is that after overcoming and accomplish a lot of these things, I feel that there's more that I can do. So with that, I have looked at helping and giving back to the Jamaican youth. Presently, it doesn't have anything for themselves in regard to education. So with that, I developed a charity called Global Student Foundation. And by doing that and developing that, it's giving back to my country in Jamaica. Well, the area of the foundation is a small town in Jamaica, which is very rural. It's called Linstead. And beyond Linstead, further in the mountains, it's a very, very small town, which is not even on Google Maps. So just give you an idea, with that school is that we built that about, I would assume, if I'm correct, I would assume probably about 6 years ago. We built that, and it's just giving back to that particular community because there were no school at the time there. For kids at, I would say, 3 on up. And seeing the need for that, we decided, and I use the word we, with my present person and the vice president of Global Student, I would say Giselle and I, and she took it forward and organized it in such a way that it makes sense now. Before, I didn't give it fully the attention that it needed, but with her professional help, she decided to make it stronger and better, and we still have a lot more to do. I would say those are some of the things that I would really want to focus my energy on now is to give more back to the school and other schools in Jamaica. That if we could do something to change people's life and other people could look at me and use me as an example for their own stories and have them come forward, and if it could help in any which way to inspire their life to make themselves better or their lives better, because each one can teach one. The other story, my story might not be your story, but it could be a segue in what it could do for young youths, not feeling sorry for themselves, going back to schools where it could change lives in a good way. And I'm hoping this or my story can probably change someone's life, even one person, or the greater good of humanity.